What up, everyone? It's Johnny here with Tell a Friend for this Message Monday, and I got a thought for you that's I hope it's gonna bless you. It's called "If I Could Turn Back Time." It was a song by Cher, famous song. If I can turn back time. I don't sing very good, anyways. But what kind of got me thinking about turning back time was the recent death of Kobe Bryant. I sort of thought about some of the things in my life, and if I could turn back time, and if I could go back to certain times, a certain place in my life, what would I tell that person, right? And one of the first things I thought about was college. Why didn't I go to college right out of high school? That's the first thing I thought about. What would I tell myself that I know today? Would I tell that person back then, right? Or I thought about like my marriage. I made some poor decisions and some issues in our marriage, right? When I was younger. What would I tell myself back then that I know today? I thought about parenting and you know, all the long hours I worked at work, all the church activities. I spent so much time doing different things when I was younger, helping this person, helping that person. And I remember at the end of the day, I'd come home, I see my kids waiting for me. And I thought to myself, what would I tell that father that I know today back then? What would I tell him? I even went as far as thinking about my own brother. And I spoke to my brother Junior three days before he had passed away. And I thought, what would I tell him? Or would the conversation be different? Would I say something different? Would I share something differently? And I even kind of went, because of the death of Kobe Bryant, I even thought, what if I can go back and tell Kobe, you know, hey, don't take the helicopter today? Or if I can go back in the history, right, and to a certain time where a president was assassinated, or so many of these things over and over again was playing in my head, right? But unfortunately, these are just, that's not possible, as we know, right? None of that stuff's impossible. Matthew 6:34 says that we're not to worry about tomorrow. So in essence, we really shouldn't worry about the past. We can't add any value, right? So I'm gonna give you an example. So I have an old truck that used to belong to my brother, and the fuel pump went out, right? And so in order to change a fuel pump, you gotta bring the gas tank down. There's straps that hold it on. It's just so many wires and there's so many hoses and stuff. You gotta, if you have gas in the fuel tank, it's just awkward. It's just, you need like 2 or 3 people just to get to do the job right? Unfortunately, I did it myself. It took me all day to do it. And I was laid out for literally 2 weeks with back pains afterwards, right? Now, unfortunately, because I did it myself, I was tired at the end of the day. I mixed the wires up, put some wires backwards, and I blew out the new fuel pump. Yep, blew out the new fuel pump. Messed up, guys, messed up. So I had to change it again, right? I said to myself, well, if I need to do something differently, because if I have to change the fuel pump the same way, I'm gonna pay somebody to fix it, right? But in order to learn from my mistakes, I had to go through and go through a mistake, right? So I ended up looking on YouTube and looking on the internet and seeing how could I change a few of them, different options. And there was a different way where you can screw, it's called the tilt bed method. You only pull 2 bolts off and loosen 2 up, and you pull the truck bed up, and the fuel pump's right there. Oh my goodness, it took me 1 hour to change this fuel pump, right? Well, what does that all mean, right? What am I trying to say here? Well, in order to be the best version of you, you have to experience some of these things that you went through, right? I would have never ever made a change doing this fuel pump unless I went through something that hurt me or I had a pain, right? My back was on fire for 2 weeks. I was limping, but I would never have changed it unless I experienced the problem way, right? Or a way doing it by myself. I would never change the thing. So listen, sometimes you go through these things, these issues, right? And you wish I could, if I could do things differently, you tell yourself, if I could change the path, if I could talk to that person, I would change so much, right? But we can't, right? In order to be the best version of you, you have to have those experiences, right? The tragic story of the rich man and Lazarus in Luke 16 was This man regretting to take the opportunities afforded to him right in that day, right? So let me ask you a question. What are you doing today? Are you worrying about what happened to you in the past? Are you worrying about those pitfalls, those mistakes you made, right? All those mistakes, those building blocks are making the person you are today. It's changing who you are. Don't ever regret what you've done in the past. Don't ever think that those mistakes are you can't fix them or you can't change. Ask yourself, what am I doing today to be a better person of who I am, and learning from all those mistakes. You've gone through some issues. I've gone through some issues. And we're going to make some mistakes in life, right? But they're building blocks to make a better person of who you are. Don't forget, I love you. Take care and tell a friend. Bye now.